Testing, testing. Okay. Hope that's better. Testing, testing. Okay. Is that better, y'all? Are y'all? Hope that's better. Wow. Testing, testing. Okay. Is that better, y'all? Are y'all? Hope that's wow. Testing, testing. Okay. Is that better, y'all? Oops. Are y'all? Well, good evening, everyone's good evening and welcome, welcome to all of you. Miss Cherry Moon, S. Dukes, Mayberry, Key T, Key T Guard, Jesus, uh, Yana Living Life, welcome. Rizzo, good evening, good evening. It's all hot air. Good evening, everybody. I just wanted to stop in because number one, I haven't been on in a long time, so I'm not going to be on long. Um, just wanted to share a couple of things with you. Looking at, just sitting back and observing. It's been pretty exciting on YouTube, hasn't it? It's been pretty exciting, pretty exciting. Um, wow. That's all I can say is wow. Wow. Some of the things that I witnessed today, unbelievable. Hey, Mysterious Mermaid, good evening and welcome. Again, I welcome you all of my supporters, subscribers, new subscribers, day ones, all of you. It is a pleasure to see you all. It is a pleasure to see you all. But some of the things I've seen, I'm like, wow. That's about all I can say is just wow. Um, it appears that some people just don't learn. I said this a long time ago about the circle pattern that certain behaviors on YouTube seem to have those patterns of just going around in the same circle, both with people and within themselves, wherein you learn from your experience, and certain experiences teaches us that we need to reconsider our position and the direction that we're going in. However, um, everybody is not with it, but I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Yeah, I'm grateful that I've been able to learn some things, in this course of life. And hi, Miss New. I may not be where I want to be, but God knows I'm not where I used to be. And thank God for wisdom and maturity. You know, um, it's wonderful when you can look around you and you see how far you've grown, how much you've grown, and how much you have listened or answered to wisdom who cries out in the streets. And if you just allow yourself, um, anytime during your day, to just be still and listen, you'll hear wisdom crying out for people to accept wisdom. And I guarantee you, when you get wisdom, that's a great thing. That is a great thing. When you think you're going to explode, sometime wisdom will tell you, I hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battle, because he will fight for you. He will turn things around right in front of your face, and you will be amazed at how things happen and how he does things. So I'm grateful for the opportunity to come before you this evening. And if this was a Wednesday word, it is Wednesday, isn't it? Happy Wednesday, everybody. If I were to change the name of this video, or the title of this video, um, I would call it my Wednesday word. And I do have a Wednesday word for you. In the midst of everything that's going on, and the temperament and the focus of different individuals on here, I would focus on Matthew, I believe it's the 6th chapter and the 21st verse. And that one verse reads, "For where your heart is, there, no, I'm sorry, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also." Let me say that one more time. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Where your treasure is. First of all, we have to identify what our treasure is. That's very important. What is your treasure? What are the things that you hold so dear to you? And in that, whether or not it is important for sustaining life. For in the upper verses, let's see, where is it? Around the 19th verse, it says, "Lay not up for yourselves treasures upon the earth, where moth and rust doth corrupt, and where the thieves break through and steal. But lay up for yourselves in heaven, where neither moth nor rust doth corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal." So that gives you an indication of what our treasure should be. That gives you a clue to what your treasure should be. So, in other words, instead of making things that can decay and that can be taken away from us, it gives us a little insight that it's not carnal, that our treasure should be spiritual. Now, that is not saying that having money is not a good thing, because I'm going to tell you something. The Bible also says, "Money answereth all things." So, money is there to serve you where it's needed, to help you with your needs and even your desires. However, when we put too much trust and when we put our heart into those things that can perish, um, point blank, we wind up looking stupid because um, we're gambling. We're gambling with something that can be taken away or can disintegrate, can rust and can be eaten. But when you focus on your spirit and your relationship with the creator, with God, with Yahweh, you will find that that treasure is worth more than any natural money or anything else could ever supply you, because you can lose all your money having a relationship with God, and God will open up a door where people will come and bless you, and they will give you opportunities. This is why it is so important to invest in your talent, invest in your gifts, um, invest in your education. It is important because those things, people, circumstances cannot take away from you. And so, looking around and observing, I hear things that people say about um, their treasure. We often hear around here, it's about the coin. I'm here to get a coin. But when you observe them, you see that the coin has become their treasure. And every time time goes around, good evening, Felicia Fee. When time goes around, you see that they're knocked right back down to nothing. Somebody throws a monkey wrench in your program. And it's for me, and this is just how I see it. It's sad when uh, someone on YouTube can effect and infect your life off of YouTube, um, in a way that leaves you wanting, leaves you in regret, leaves you embarrassed. I put my faith in God, not in money. However, God has been gracious unto me in that area, that money is not something that I have to worry about, or that I have to fret over, or that I have to fight over, or that I have to drag you down or tear you down in order to make money. Because in the long run, whatever you do comes back to you. And when it comes back to you, you have to be able, you really have to be able, or should I say, be response able. What you do unto others, ultimately, you do to yourself. We cause things on ourselves that are unnecessary so often. Why? Because our treasure is the wrong thing, and we're hurt and we're bruised and we become angry and frustrated because our heart is where our treasure is. And when someone uh, comes at us and tries to destroy what we have, they're pretty much successful, because our heart was there and we become brokenhearted. So I just wanted to encourage you today. Be cognizant of where you put what your treasure is. Be very cognizant and be careful. Take precise care. Take deep care in what you choose for your treasure. Because wherever your treasure is, that's where your heart is going to be found. And you will find yourself doing things to try to protect your treasure and your heart, but it's to no avail. It's to no avail whatsoever. And I'm grateful. I just wanted to come on for a minute and to share, that with you all, to encourage you and to empower you, that you don't get caught up, because sometimes, we open ourselves up to things, and we really get caught up in the emotionalism, of other people's situation. When you take a real good look at it, you really don't have time to get emotional about somebody else's affairs, one way or the other. Yes, we feel for them, but we don't get overly emotional, whether it is loving that person or liking that person or disliking that person. It takes too much time from what we need to do when we get angry about other people's situations. Especially when people see, because people have a tendency, again, to do things that bring things upon themselves. And you have to be very mindful of the words that come out of your mouth, because so often the weapons that people use against us are things that we say out of our own mouths. How did they find that out? You spoke it, and someone was listening, someone was taking notes. And so when you said it out of your mouth, not thinking or not being cognizant, they took it and did their research and investigation, or as we call due diligence. And then when you uh, rock their boat, they have a tendency to come back at you. And you hear people on here always talking about taking stuff off of YouTube. Some things we talk about have nothing to do with YouTube. And so when somebody affects you outside of YouTube, it's a sad situation, but I'm not sad about it. And I'm grateful. I'm very grateful. And again, I thank all of you for coming in. I just wanted to come in. I've been doing some work, a lot of work in the studio, getting ready to um, release second album. And that reminds me, I would like to heartfelt give a heartfelt thank you to everyone that supported um the steps of a good man, the collaboration that between myself and Sean Bradley. You all have been wonderful. I appreciate it. And those of you that have not checked it out, check it out. It's on all your streaming platforms: iTunes, Amazon Music, everything you can think of. It is on. I even got uh, notifications on last week that that song is being played in France, and people are really liking it. And I am grateful. I am so grateful. And again, I do appreciate uh, Sean Bradley, who, when asked, was very hesitant. However, um, he was, with a little coaxing and stuff, he said yes. And it has been a blessing to me. Let me tell y'all something. I don't care what anybody on here says about Mr. Sean Bradley. Working with Sean Bradley was a total pleasure. It was enjoyable. Hey, Miss Etta Harrell, good evening. It was from start to finish. It was a wonderful, pleasant experience. I have nothing bad to say about that man. I'm grateful. One of the things, in giving you just a little bit of history on the song, was that while I was writing it, I Sean Bradley came to mind, because I consider him a blessed man. Number one, because he's a young man who has made his way and has used his experiences in life as fuel to propel him uh, to be a person of accomplishment. And at the same time, being the type of person that you can converse back and forth with and laugh and even disagree with, um, and not fall out. And so, uh, in writing the song, I saw him in my mind. And because to me, out of the things that I've seen since I've been on here, he has persevered, and uh he has stood straight up through it all, and has come out, in my observation, smelling like a rose. And so those are the attributes to me of a good man, somebody that has a relationship with God, believes God, and is a living example of what God does. And so it was my pleasure to work with Sean Bradley. I don't know what the future holds as far as another collab, but I would not ever, with the experience of working with him on this collab, I would never say no. I would never say no, because it was such a good time. And again, I thank all of you that have supported the project, and has helped to push the product not only here in this country, but have made some noise about it, that it's getting around. Again, I appreciate you all and I thank you. And again, remember, remember this: wherever your treasure is, that is where your heart will be. So be very mindful and consider what your treasure is and where it is. And don't allow yourself to get lost in the hoopla and be controlled by your treasure. In other words, don't start chasing the coin and forget about the people around you, or forget about sharing love. And by the way, the song that I played as the intro, this is one of the songs that's going to be on the new release. Yeah, there's an album coming. So all of you that are listening and that are interested, that was a little taste of what the album is going to be about. Yes, that's what the album is going to be about. Um, from my observation, especially my people, we seem to have lost love. We have let love go. We have become so consumed with so many other things until loving one another as we should love ourselves, we've let it go. But we need it back. And the only way for us to get love back between ourselves is to begin to love ourselves and root out all the self hate. I've said this for quite a few years. In order for you to dislike me, so often you have to dislike something about yourself. So when you love you, it is so easy for you to love somebody else. And that is a lifetime job. It is a continuous job. It just doesn't, it's just not a one time fix, but it is constant. It is every day loving yourself. Hey, hey, CCN TV, thank you for dropping by and welcome. So this is what, again, wherever your treasure is and whatever your treasure is, that's where your heart will be. So again, I thank you all for dropping in. Um, and like I said, I know it's been a long time since I have been on. Um, hey, I'm here today. And again, I thank you all for coming on. Etta Harrell, uh, Yana Living Life, Miss Cherry Moon, Felicia Fee, all of you. It's wonderful to see you all. And thank you for your support. Miss New, Mysterious Mermaid, Key Guard, CCN TV. It's all hot air. I appreciate you. And again, thank you. Now, as I always do when I end my lives, mm, I decree and declare unto you love, more love than you can imagine, more love than your heart can feel, and much more love than your hands can hold. Why? Because if you love God, love yourself, and love your neighbor as yourself, you please God and you've kept all his commandments, because all of the commandments are covered by love. And when you love, you're keeping his commandments. So I decree love unto you. And may the rest of your week be a fantastic blessing, both to you, so much so that you can't help being a blessing to everyone else. So, again, I thank you all and do have a good night. As a matter of fact, have a good night on me. Good night, everybody.